Going on YouTube, it's your boy CJ the Gym Slasher back at it again. I appreciate the love, appreciate the unconditional love, and I might as well give it right back. That being said, let's get right into it. So this one, I don't know if you guys ever heard this phrase in baseball and softball as a player, as a coach, as a trainer. This phrase is synonymous in baseball and softball worlds. It's called what they say is don't watch three. Don't watch three. What does that mean? I said this and I've done this in my IG. So if you got me in IG, I have a nice little short on that just so you guys can understand it. But I'm gonna do a little deeper dive with my YouTube channel, my video to kind of elaborate a little bit more on this. What it means by watching three is when you're at bat and you got to count. The count is you got your how many balls, strikes, outs and stuff like. So when you get in and your batter's up, it's at 0-0, 0 balls, 0 strikes, right? Pause, for my for my group, my kids, my youth, my millennials, my Gen Zs, that understand this is just a pause on the whole thing, so I don't keep saying that. That being said, you're in the box, you're in the batter's box, right? And you start with a 0-0 count. That means no balls, no strikes, right? As the pitcher is doing their thing and you doing there trying to actually hit, or if it's a bad pitch, you don't swing, you get a ball. A full count happens with 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a lot of coaches, batting coaches and managers and you as a player, some people are aggressive with this, meaning that if you're in the batter's box, you got a 3-2 count, right? You have to be very, very selective if you don't want to take that swing. And if you got an aggressive pitcher, they may welcome you not swinging because you want to get a walk. You get 4 balls, that's a walk. That's a free base, right? And depending on who's all on base, it could be bases loaded. A walk brings one in, right? A walk brings a run in, right? But if you're a leadoff, right, that's an advantage because you want to be leadoff. They want you on the base by not swinging, just take an easy walk, let them off the hook. However, that's only predicated on a pitch that is, in general, pretty obvious that it's a ball, right? The trouble happens when you as a batter sees the pitch and it may not be your comfort level of hit to swing, but the umpire, regardless of your comfort level, that umpire calls that a strike, and now you sitting down. And nothing is more peeving for a manager, for teammates, for you to see that a ball was relatively close and you don't swing. And that could be paramount for the game, for that time of the inning. You may have runners on, or it's a close game, it's tied, or you're down 1 or you're up 1. That could be a huge momentum swing in terms of how the rest of this game could be played, especially if you are already a good hitter. Now, stick to that, what I just said, because I'm going to come back to that here in a second. But when you do that, that can shift a game of momentum. It could be a big momentum swing. It could be a huge confidence boost for that pitcher who put themselves in that predicament of having a 3-2 pitch and you not swinging. You just left them off the hook because you watched it. Now, I've said in other videos and I'm gonna say them in countless more videos, right? Life imitates art, art imitates life. Sports gives you so much of understanding how life can be sometime. And there's times where in my head, as I go through my day and in my daily activities and the things that I do, and it keep me locked in and focused, I even say that to myself, don't watch three. What do I mean by that in terms of life and applying that to life skills? Not watching three, meaning don't put your life in the hands of the umpire, right? As a player, when you don't swing that bat and it's a close pitch And now, some people could say, well, close is relative to each player. It may be close to you, but they could feel that was a ball. Be that as it may, in general, if it's close enough, and in baseball, you could foul those off. In softball, you could do the same. You could foul it off until you put the pressure on the pitcher to give you a better pitch, and hope that they mess up and throw that pitch a little further inside, or a little further outside, or a little further higher, a little further lower to your pitch. You can now dictate that. But by not swinging, you giving all the momentum to that pitcher and that momentum to that umpire to say, you know what, I'm ringing you up. As an umpire, and I've umpired little leagues every now and then, very, very sporadic. I let it be known that if those are close, I'm ringing you up. You out of there. Call them. Why? Because for me as an umpire, and there's a lot of umpires who want you to swing the bat, want you to swing, and this is a hitter's league. You hear that a lot in the big leagues, in the collegiate, and in high school, man. This is a hitter's league, man. Sometimes you just foul it off till you get your right pitch. But if you give it, you leave it in the hands of the umpire. Don't be mad at when the umpire makes their own choice and what they believe is a strike, or what they believe is, could be a ball. When you in that batter's box, you want to maintain your control. You stay in control, right? If it's 3-2 now, you're going to wait. You have that patience of waiting for your right pitch. Foul those off. They're kind of close. Now I'm going to foul it off. Know how to hit the ball outside the lines. Those are fouls before they get over first or third base, right? So use that time to dictate, and don't allow that umpire to make that choice, right? The same thing in life. Don't put your life in other people's hands, and their expectations of you could be different from your own expectations of yourself. And then you get mad at people judging you or having their opinion on you. Well, you've been asking them how they feel about you. You've been doing things to accommodate them or how they feel, and you still not getting that kind of love, or you still not getting that kind of adulation, right? You got to change that mindset, man. I'm not waiting for you. I'm not watching 3. I'm going to go ahead and take life in my own hands. I'm going to dictate how this ball is going to get hit. I'm going to dictate how my life is going. I'm not going to rely on you to make that decision. That's the mindset of not watching 3. Don't watch it. Don't let the umpire make their decision. You make the decision on you, right? You fight in that batter's box, and don't allow that strike, or don't allow a borderline pitch for the umpire, because more often than not, you see most of those batters, it is a long walk coming back to that dugout, especially, if it's you got runners on first or second or third, and it's an out or a 2 out, and you are a good hitter. And now I'm coming back to what I said earlier, right? A good hitter. You lose sight of you being a good hitter. Most of you guys are that's listening to this are already on that right path of understanding how to have a good mindset. So you already, in retrospect to my example, you're already a good hitter. Hitters hit. You shouldn't get too, I'm just going, I think that's a ball because I don't want to hit, and hopefully I could just walk and take the easy way. You should be in that batter's box in this 3-2, and with the mindset of unless this is completely egregious, I'm making contact. I'm gonna make sure this ball is not mine. I don't want that. I don't like that pitch. But yet and still, I'm gonna foul it off until I get my right pitch. And sometimes it may not be the perfect pitch, but you get a hold of that thing, and it's in the ball, it's in the outfield. It's a home run, or it's a triple, or it's a solid base hit, and you're running around, and once you get to base, you're going, man, that wasn't even my pitch, but I wanted to make sure that I made contact because I didn't want the umpire to ring me up and cause my team a loss, or cause my team to lose, to not have any runs in, right? You forget who you are. Don't forget who you are when you're in that batter's box, or in life. Don't forget who you are. You are already good. You already have the skills and the mindset. So down 3-2, don't choke up and not want to swing and hope that the umpire bail you out and give you a walk. You should be having more confidence and going, hey, if you put this ball anywhere in my wheelhouse, I'm taking it to the moon, right? That should be more so the mindset. The pressure is on the pitcher. The pressure is not on you. as much. It's actually on the pitcher because they're in this situation. Maybe they were up, maybe they had 2 strikes on you and you found a way to get to 3 balls and 2 strikes. And now the pressure is on them to figure out how they're going to pitch to you because you found the patience to bring the count back up in your favor, right? So the pressure is not on you as much as it is them. So keep that pressure on them. And don't even worry about the umpire. Keep the pressure on the pitcher. And you keep fouling off those balls each and every time. Eventually, the longer that batter's pitcher's duel happen, the more it benefits the hitter. In life, the more you out there in that box, taking those chances and swinging and knocking those balls, foul and fouling them out and keep applying that pressure, the more success that you're more likely to come into because you're taking those chances, you're taking those risks. You're not waiting for umpire to bail you out unless it's obvious egregious. So with that being said, don't watch 3. Who are you? What is your mission? I appreciate you guys for watching yet another video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, man. Until next time, CJ Gym Slasher is out.